Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Chris Dearborn, managing director on Nasdaq's Market Intelligence Desk, for an update on technical levels to watch in the Nasdaq-100 index. Chris, particularly as we are going into an important earnings session after the close with Apple and Amazon.
You know, it's been kind of interesting. So when we're talking on Monday, we're looking at the narrative being bullish, and really the path of least resistance was a little bit higher. Then Fitch comes out with the rating on the U.S. debt and downgrades it to AA plus, sends the markets into a bit of a tizzy, which is good from a technical standpoint, though we did break support there. Now, when you're looking at, we had over 30 companies reporting or expect to report this week. And as you said, Apple and Amazon are the two big mega tech caps that are out after the bell that can absolutely move the market on their own, one or the other. And then to top it off, tomorrow we get our payroll report at 8:30 before the market opens. So it's kind of a trifecta of what's going to happen. If the Apple and Amazon reports are good and perceived well by investors, as well as the non-farm payroll report coming in at 3.6% unemployment, with give or take in line with 200,000 jobs added, you're looking at a very bullish sentiment for the market to take off here. If that doesn't happen, then depending on what happens to the worst case, you can see this market down to the 1-2% easily tomorrow. Again, you know, the market here over the last couple of days is kind of important because we've seen that the markets have consolidated to start August following the rising rates based off of what happened with Fitch. And right now, we're poised with a very strong base in the index that can move very much higher. But if we break that support, this index has significant legs to go lower.
Well, I mean, considering the move that we made just since the beginning of the year. So with that said, what are some technical levels that you're watching?
Right. So the index has actually moved positive today, which is kind of interesting. You've had a slew of economic data, including services, ISM numbers, and unemployment, all boding well for a strong labor market, and bodes well again for the soft landing atmosphere, soft landing talk. The question is, you know, how long will rates remain at the higher level, right? What is that terminal rate going to be, and how long are we going to be there? Is it going to be 5.5? Is it going to be 5? You know, when is that next cut going to be? So when you look at the chart, that pullback coincided with the large rate hike, right? Not rate hike, the interest rates. The 2-year went to 4.9, tipped at 5, and 10 years over 4. That does not bode well for the market, hence the consolidation. Support right now is very, very tight in the market at 15,300 and 15,210. That major support level I was talking about is the 50-day moving average, which is at 15,000. If that breaks, you could see a 150 to 200 point drop in this index. If it holds, we're going to make new 52-week highs in this index. Resistance overhead, it was support the other day, which was at 15,400 and 15,550. We're almost at the 15,400 level right now.
Yeah, Chris, I also think it's important to note that yesterday we had a 1% move, which is something that we've not seen in, I think, about 45 trading days. So interesting to see that, you know, there are some volatility scenarios in the market. Of course, Apple and Amazon will be not only just big tech indicators, but obviously a read on the consumer as well. Let's take a look at the constituents that are leading the way. How spread out is the breadth today?
You know, breadth is 50-50 down the middle. Obviously, Qualcomm's given back about 10% on earnings. PayPal's down about 11%. Those are all to the negative side. Apple's kind of flat. Amazon's kind of flat. So that's not really moving it one way or another. Mercado Libre is having a strong day, up over 12% on the earnings. Tesla's a strong day, over 2%. So it's really kind of a mixed bag. That's why we're trading kind of flat on the day. It's more of a macro item. Again, with earnings, when you look at it as a whole, we've had over 65 companies in the index report already. You know, the earnings surprise beat is pretty good at 7.7% for the index. That's a good number. Again, a lower bar compared to where we have been overall. And it's going to be lower on the numbers in almost a year and a half, but it's still not that bad. Granted, Amazon and Apple could change the whole complexion of what is going to happen tonight after the bell. And don't forget, you got a couple of other big members, you know, AMZN, Booking, Team, and MCHP all report between tonight and tomorrow morning as well. So there's still many net members that can move this index. or give it legs and help move it to those higher levels or reverse it. And if we break that 15,000 level, the 50-day simple moving average, it's going to be lights out.
Yeah, well, I mean, plus with the
Yes.
rebalance as well, Chris, so, you know, you have a little
Yep.
bit more.
The tail is bigger.
That
Tail is much, much bigger now than what used to be. So those other companies do matter in the index opposed to the top 7.
All right, Chris, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.